Greetings, comrades. So glad that you put me on this call, and specifically, I want to share about the deficiencies in the international law and the legal framework there. You see, a lot has been happening in the world. So much of turmoil, so much of conflicts, and so on. Um, and scholars have always been asking whether international law in itself as law can has a solution to the turmoil that's caused. You see, when you read the UN Charter, specifically Article 2, you get to realize that force in any way is prohibited. But obviously, there is an inherent right for state parties that are faced with forceful situations to invoke their right to self-defense. So there's so many scenarios that international law envisaged, and that's one of them. Where if there is an attack by a state against the other, that state that's under attack cannot look on, but rather they will be invoking the right as they fight back. However, the divisions comes in when we talk about non-state actors. You see, it is known that when the non-state actors in another territory or another state and they're fighting a specific state, that state can liaise with that state where the non-state actors are, and they can enter that land and fight them. But what happens to a scenario where that state is not willing to give permission to this state that's under attack to fight the non-state actors, or a scenario where uh, the the non-state actors are let me say allegedly sponsored by the state. Obviously, for the latter, you will say that it's an attack because you shows that that other state is sponsoring them, so it's generally an attack on you. However, it's very hard to also prove that. But I will specifically talk about that scenario where it's not that state that sponsors them. You see, when they envisaged, okay, the framers of this charter did not, I think, rightly envisage that scenario where the non-state actors in another state and that other state is not willing to grant permission. They didn't put the legal framework uh, in there literally to do that. So there is a scenario, and that's the reason as to why there's so many turmoils to that effect. You see, we need to look at that as something that needs to be addressed because there's so many non-state actors, especially in Africa, that are barring in states and they're causing turmoil into the nearby states. So there is need of to have a solution. You know, instead of people talking about this and that in breach of a lane, breach over that, we should have a scenario that if we know that non-state actors are in your country, you are not willing to do this and this, we are going to breach your territorial sovereignty and we shall come and attack them in there. You see, if we get information, I don't know, it's really very hard, but I think we need to, international law generally needs to work on that specifically. And with that, I think I'll first pause it there and we see. Thank you.